horse drifted alarmingly in the betting was, fancied in the morning, continued to drift. It was late on the exchanges to lose. It was something you'd see in a Dick Francis novel, Charles Buttons.
The ground is soft. It's not.
It's heavy.
It's soft on times.
It's heavy.
Okay.
Hello and a big warm welcome. Yes, it's Sunday sermon time, the time of week where we try and do our best to cheer you up and cheer ourselves up from a difficult start to Doncaster on the flat season, which of course took place yesterday and obviously today as well through a tractor field. Joining me is John Lang and Lorne Malvo. Chris, good evening, chaps. And it's good to be back with you two again to chew the fat of the week's affairs.
Guten Abend.
Yeah, good evening. If we're going to cheer ourselves up, right, we'll just get a big bag of Charlie out and sub the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. It's a short-term high, though, John. That's the problem. You'll be more miserable afterwards.
We'll come on to Doncaster, John. Just a quick mention. The flat is back.
Yeah.
You, for certain, would have Tappiter down on that turf, wouldn't you, to stop all these older flugs, mares winning and things like that?
I know I don't mind an older slug. Yes, I would. That would have been run on near perfect going, of course.
Yeah. Doncaster as a whole yesterday, it was a headwind, and we saw some remarkable rides.
Remarkable in you mean the level of stupidity that was on display?
Yeah, this is what's interesting, because some trainers get it, and I think that's what's important. The trainer has to get it, not the jockey, because the trainer's usually telling the jockey.
Hey, no, if you're Mark Johnston.
No, yeah, he just leaves it to them.
75,000 winners and never give a jockey an instruction in his life.
Despite leading on most of them.
Yes.
If you believe that, you'll believe that...
the moon's made of cheese.
Indeed. The ride, I felt, were very average in some cases. So you look at the Lincoln, for example. Very, very strange to see the fancied runners. Liberty Lane, for example, no cover at all for Rusty Lee towards the stand side. It was out in the open into a headwind. The other one I think I saw was Johan, where Nick's fancy. That finished last after blasting.
The Murta one was a classic, like Blues Emperor. Absolutely up the centre, pressing the pace all the time, and despite Mr. Murta dashing out the taxi 5 minutes before and to saddle the bloody thing and showed how much he loves this game. He'd sent Coyne out there with completely the wrong instructions. It was game over from about 3 furlongs out. Migration had just completely refused to have a bar of it.
I know, and as
Paddy Bradley, what a booking.
Refused to race, didn't come out of the stalls for Paddy Bradley. Probably felt Paddy's hands on the reins and thought,
no thanks. Yeah.
This is Paddy Bradley, this.
Yeah.
And the poor horse has been retired forthwith by David Menazier.
By his own request, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So the horse has been retired. So Migration, thank you for the memories. Thank you for the Lincoln win last year.
That refusal to race will linger long.
Yeah. Poor Migration. Julie Camacho second in the race with Latam, John. Steve Brown and the Labrador will be pleased with that.
Macho Camacho. I wonder if she's any relation to Hector Camacho. What do you think?
I couldn't believe it when you told me Hector Camacho got shot.
Yeah, in a drug deal that went wrong. He had substance abuse problems. That was the problem. He put too much coke on his cock, I think. That was the issue. But yeah, he's like a lot of these spiraled out of control and got involved with gangsters, and he got shot. It's very sad. So yeah, Julie Camacho.
Yeah, Julie Camacho, Steve Brown team. They've got a good thing going on there. I mean, Latam, I thought was at the ceiling of his mark, really, John, on 95. I didn't miss many dances for Haggis in some difficult handicaps last year, and obviously struggled to.
I think he had plenty in his favour today, man, didn't he? He had cover and he had his ground.
He did. It was a good ride from young Ryan Sexton. Yeah, it was. Again, this is what we do when we do this for a living, or try to, is we look at today, and you should go back through your video and look at the horses that made the running, look at the best ones for the day that sort of like were pinged out in front, finished in the best position. They should be noted for future handicap bets.
If there's any that finish second, buy them.
Yeah, exactly. And also the ones that maybe got the great rides, as in cover for most of the race, only going into that stiff breeze for the least amount of time, they're the ones to possibly look at taking. I'm not saying they're not going to win again. It's just that they've had every advantage given to them in winning. So that should be in your calculations going forward, punters, in terms of today's.
The poor old gatekeeper trying to lead on the stand side. If only they had an experienced jockey on that one instead of 96-year-old Joe Fanning with 35 rides behind him.
John, there's one opinion I'd like to get from you because of my moderate paddock expertise. I would like to ask someone of greater expertise. In the Doncaster Mile, the winner Charin, I thought, had improved significantly physically.
Done well physically, yeah, he has.
Right, I'm glad you said that because obviously I wouldn't class myself in any shape or form as a paddock judge, but
I saw a big difference in him.
Yeah, I think he's a serious beast, actually. I know, like we said, don't take into account the winning distances today because it's exaggerated because of track to potato field ground. Dave Egan, by the way, Ginger Dave, got off the Lincoln winner and said the ground's lovely.
Brilliant, Dave, thanks.
Yeah, so whilst it's a great start for Dave Egan and Ammo, Sylvester's waiting in the wings, Dave.
Yeah.
It's like having that 30-goal striker on the bench. The Sousa pressing away, and as soon as Ginger Dave makes a mistake,
getting into managers' ear and they causing division in the camp. Yeah.
Well, this is it. He's a football agent. You got to perform. Keep it going, Dave Egan. I'm a fan of yours at the moment. I like you. I don't know for how much longer.
No, indeed.
I'm betting we won't get to Craven, mate.
No.
Exactly. There's not really much this weekend to have talked about in terms of horse racing. Possibly certain things that's happening down under are making racing fans feel a little bit worried about British racing, John, because First Impressionist won in Australia yesterday. Via Sistina won one of the big races over there.
Well, I just loves it over there, didn't he?
Yeah, Tom Marquand's there, and he's picking up Aussie spares. He's been riding for Chris Waller, some big Aussie trainers. This is starting to worry me. You've got Ben Curtis, I think, at Gulfstream at the moment.
Jeez.
Are these jockeys like waking up? Imagine you're a decent jockey, not the best, not one of the legends of the game, but say you're a 12%, 13% click jockey, that middle of the road, keeps trying. Why wouldn't you ride in America and Australia getting a percentage of their fees compared to a percentage of our fees?
Well, you'd have to, wouldn't you? In all honesty, you have to be a little bit touchdown around here because the choppers out of Hanoi are going fast, aren't they?
It's not just horses I don't think we've got to worry about. First Impressionist winning over there, Via Sistina winning over there. Yeah. We're talking jockeys here. We could even lose our better talents. Who knows? Dusty Bin has packed up at Newmarket. So we've got Charlie Appleby left. What happens if Darley scaled down their operation?
I don't see why they wouldn't, to be honest. It doesn't make sense to run an operation like that.
It's not a rip-roaring success at the moment, is it, Darley?
No, not at all. Given the amount of horses that they've got, far from it. I mean, they've got such a lot invested. I mean, they've got some beautiful places in Newmarket and wherever, but people want to be getting out of this game in this country because it's on the skids. It's as simple as that.
It is. It's like the old, as we called it, trickle-down economics, where we're seeing the money coming in from...
It just trickles up.
It does, and this is the problem, that we're facing a possible crisis, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more British jockeys look at maybe Ben Curtis at the moment. I don't know if he's coming back to England. He probably will for the summer. I don't know the plans. But if you start losing your sort of like middle to decent talent, then you end up with either good jockeys still riding here or poor ones because we haven't got enough jockeys to take the rides.
You get a scenario where your likes of Ryan Moore and them will only be riding at the big meetings and weekends.
Yeah, I think it's really worrying. I think the way this sport is governed and everything else to do.
Julie won't be worried. She's got this. Don't
I know. But there we go. Yes. So that's what's been happening. Other news before we crack on. North Light passed away this week. Derby winner. John, I know North Light is quite close to your heart.
Yes, yeah. I loved him a bit. Very sorry to see him go. I'll resist the Chris Pole moment about the anti-post on the derby.
Yeah, we had it spark off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Richard Bailey. Paid for
Yeah.
the central heating, that one did.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll tell Chris Paul now. John had it right off. Right, anyway.
Yeah.
Marcus Juiced shot, but apparently he shot himself, John. That was the thing. Marcus Juiced, horses he owned. He had
I
horses.
thought he was an Irish trainer called Marcus Juice. There you go. How you spell it?
Yeah. So Juiced, he owned horses like, do you remember? I'll give you some. Douglas MacArthur.
Yes.
Oh, Christ, right.
Yeah, he will return, won't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus one.
He owned Southeaster that won the D Stakes.
Oh, bloody hell.
The fillies he owned went up for auction in 2018.
Wasn't he in a similar line of work to what's his face?
John Dance.
Yeah.
Bernard Madoff.
Yeah, he got done for being bent.
Hmm.
Key to My Heart, Pocket Full of Dreams.
Yeah.
They're getting a few of those kids rounded up at the minute, aren't they?
They say there's nothing suspicious about the death, so they're treating it as sort of suicide, like he shot himself.
Yeah.
Probably because he was going to be facing custodial sentences in South Africa, possibly.
Yeah, probably, and that's not a sort of place where you want to go to jail, I think.
No.
Quick story. A friend of mine who moves in a strange, shadowy world was paid. He was very friends with Jacob Zuma's head of security, and there was a white guy that got convicted, quite rightly, of murder. And they managed to bribe enough people to get this guy effectively released from prison. So they got this docket from Jacob Zuma's head of security saying, like, go to this prison, hand this into the fucking front desk, and they'll dig the man out. Fine. So they come there and they said, I've got a release notice. Give it to the fella, and he said, yep, no problems at all. So they're waiting around there. After half an hour, the prison guard comes in and said, why are you still here? So he said, well, we're waiting to collect this prisoner. He said, we don't know where he fucking is. He said, you've got to give us a couple of weeks to find him. He said, it's like a zoo in here. And that's the governor of the prison said, he's in here somewhere, but we don't know where. So give us a couple of weeks. We'll give you a call when we found him. So that's the sort of prison you don't want to be in. Absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely true. He said, 2 weeks, we'll call you. And happily, within 7 days, they got a call. Yeah, we found him. And the guy was obviously like eaten alive, but they got him out all right.
No wonder they gave Oscar Pretorius house arrest.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. One of these prison things, there was a guy, the prisoner called Mr. Rape. Fucking hell, you don't want to be banged up with him.
What was he in for?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he nicked a toffee apple from the fair, but he found a new hobby. Fucking hell, you want stuck in with him. Quite horrible.
No bending down for Verzi, not palm olive.
That wouldn't make any difference, mate. This guy would just, you'd be overpowered in seconds. I mean, he looked fucking like a monster, but there you go. Anyway.
So that's other news in the world this week. So we're coming to Dr. Newland, who, of course, made some outlandish comments this week regarding Irish runners coming to the UK. There was a lot of uproar, especially from a lot of our Irish listeners and Irish friends, regarding Dr. Newland's comments that Irish runners should be sort of banned from contesting low races, should have runner limits in the national. He was championing the BHA when they come up with that suggestion, which, of course, on this podcast, we laughed at. And I'll probably laugh at most of his stuff. However, he does have a point in one way. And the only point I can come up with, personally, is the real-life test case of Sullivan Bloodstock, which obviously sent a lot of horses to Paul Nicholls, the likes of Stormy Island, Cut the Mustard, just to name a few. Nicholls didn't really seem to get much improvement out of any of them. In fact, most of them sort of regressed. Then you start after asking questions, and these are facts. The trainer of Kauto, Start and Denman, and many other great horses, he's obviously not an idiot, because that's why big British owners tend to go to him if they're not having one trainer in Ireland. He couldn't get anywhere near Willie Mullins' level. So why is that? That's a question that I wanted the media to ask. Yeah. Right? It's only a question. But then it's like you get things like Graham Cunningham's like saying thinly veiled doping allegations.
That buffet won't eat itself, Graham. You got to get fucking stuck in, boy.
So the question is, why couldn't one of our best trainers, there's Henderson and Nicholls and probably Skelton just below, that's how the training rank is in this country. Why couldn't one of our best trainers with any of the Sullivan Bloodstock, and there was a few of them, not just one or two, Why couldn't Nichols get them to run to the same level as Willie Mullins? It's a pertinent question.
It just illustrates the benefit of the Irish water, doesn't it?
Clean air.
They still fill the soft limestone springs in that area, and
Yeah. And they've all got a twinkle in their eye as well. That
of
helps.
course you just can't get used to it when they leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the only explanation I can think of. There can't be another one, or can there? I think Newland was given an unjustly harsh hammering by the press, because I think the way it was written, I'm not saying he wrote it himself, but you know what he was trying to say, but obviously libel laws in this country prevent him from actually saying what he thinks, right? And I think he was trying to tell you something in that article, and I think it was an opportunity by the press to at least have asked the question. But they don't know, do they? They just kind of revert to the status quo all the time. I mean, even Kevin Blake's article is really good about Cheltenham Festival. Everyone's going, yeah, Kevin Blake for Prime Minister. And a week later, everyone's going, oh, yeah, well, festival's still the jewel in the crown, though, isn't it? So all kind of resiling from that position now.
The thing is, I'll give you an example. Most punters, including full-timers, including recreational, will look for trainer changes to better horse, right?
Yep.
So in this case, it appeared, sadly for Paul Nichols and Ditchy, that it was a trainer downgrade.
It's like going from Bob Baffert to John Bridger, isn't it? That's how it is. I love Bob.
Stormy Island's the perfect example. I mean, just check its form. Anyone check its form and look through it. It could have been just that he didn't like the Ditchy air, like John says. It's the limestone air.
Yeah, crystal clear waters. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. They're galloping on the beach in crystal clear waters.
Yeah, good for a man's soul, that.
It is, like the Guinness advert. So this is it for me. And that's why I'm not defending Dr. Newland. I don't agree with what he's kind of saying. I don't think Irish runners should be banned or restricted in numbers. It's just the fact that I'm just being pedantic in the case of the Sullivan Bloodstock horses. I think that's worth mentioning. Why did those horses underperform for one of our best trainers in the UK? That's the real life test case. It's data. It's data that we use to bet.
Do you think it would be interesting to see how some of these purchases from the construction company that Elliot trained for get on?
Indeed. It's probably not ideal circumstances that the mighty bandit has gone to Greatrex.
Yeah.
Whoever owns that, I can't bother to check, but whoever owns that and has sent it to Greatrex must be deliberately want to get rid of it.
Like burning money, isn't it? I like burning money. It's like the KLF. They lit up a fucking £1 million, didn't they?
Yeah. If you're going to do it, you have to go Henderson, Skelton, Nichols, or maybe Pauling.
Helen Nelms as well, you've omitted from that list.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Helen, I'm sure you'll love it.
So yeah, look, it's a great topic and it should be discussed. What do you think, listeners? Am I talking out my arse? Yes. A lot. Place your thoughts. Michael Toms did, and he said that he thinks obviously Mullins is just a better trainer. He obviously may well be. That's it. That's why I'm just discussing that then Nichols can't compete.
But is he that much better? That's the point, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Is Willie Mullins that much better than Nichols in the case of those Sullivan Bloodstock horses? I'd kind of argue not, because I don't think he's that much worse than Willie Mullins.
Well, for a trainer of Nichols to do Seymour Business, Cowter, Star and Denman, these are serious horses. At the moment, where is Paul Nichols in terms of competing with the Irish in top races?
He's tailed off, isn't he? He's tailed off.
Well, Nichols used to send them all to Ireland. Like the Down Royal Trials, they used to be a favourite place in a Nichols. He's not doing it now. No. Why is that? Has anyone asked the question why you don't send them to Ireland?
But is it curious, isn't it? Do you remember, not so long ago, God, I sound like brilliant then, do you remember? But those festivals not so long ago when the Irish were lucky to get 3 on the board, weren't they? And then all of a sudden, there was this Celtic Tiger, huge amounts of money pouring into the Irish bloodstock industry, and all of a sudden, Ireland won everything. Now, either that's the reason, or Willie Mullins overnight became a significantly better trainer than he was for years. Because he never used to compete at the top table. You know, people go, oh, Willie Mullins. They're the people that don't remember the game in the 80s, in the 90s, when Willie Mullins wasn't dominant. Celtic Tiger changed all that. So, you know, it didn't suddenly make him better. It just simply means that the horses that Willie Mullins has, they don't appear at the sales. So effectively, the sales are all the horses that National Hunter horses that Willie Mullins didn't want. Because all the good stuff he gets before they get offered for sale.
Joe Huddleston who presumes either a former or current on-course bookmaker, he listens to the pod. He said, you don't see Willie at any of these sales now.
No.
They're not buying.
That's to me so instructive, isn't it? He's not there sticking his hand up buying, he spent 700 grand on some fucking store horse. All the good stuff gets to him privately.
First, yeah.
Yeah,
It seems
yeah.
like it's that way. Maybe it's a very difficult club to break into now if anything's going to change. Maybe we have to just machine gun all the Mullins yard and...
Fucking hell. Gone all Columbine now.
Yeah,
Dylan and Eric. Yeah.
It's a controversial statement in itself, right there, isn't it, really?
I don't think you can change anything. You've got to respect what Willie Mullins has done. On the face of it, I don't know what goes off behind the scenes. But again, if we're going about the drug issues, we talked about Seth Fishlake in America that had developed drugs that were undetectable just about anywhere in the world. We've discussed that on the pod before. The Kildare incident, which we've still not had answers from. Ireland horses going to this Kildare vet that then just found to be sorting them out, if you know what I mean. No returns on the investigation from that. Irish point-to-pointers, some have been sent back. Lucinda Russell sent one back after buying one off a pointer because it had more substances in it than Pete Doherty.
Is that right? Yes, sent one back. I didn't realise that.
Lucinda Russell sent one back. Even though our Irish friends and listeners, and we've got plenty of them.
Well, we did have.
We did have. but you've got to admit, you can't just brush it under the carpet that there might be something afoot here. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying there might be. And that's the thing. It's not just a case that Mullins is just different class. Gordon Elliott's different class. For example, why is like Chris Richardson, Cheveley Park stud, sending horses over to Ireland? Like, that is just bizarre, right? They haven't done it on the flat.
Nope.
They've not gone, I know, we'll send some to Aidan. We'll send some to Dermot. Well, you won't send it to him, but...
No, but someone good.
Yeah. I just think there's something not right. It doesn't sit right with me, all this. One trainer having mega winners, and I don't know.
Dreadful, yeah.
And it's all the wrong people, isn't it? It's all the billionaires, multi-millionaires.
Fucking Richie, Barclays Bank cunt,
Tony Bloom's gathering round. These people like to win. They don't want to get beaten. That's how it is for me. So anyway, comment on Twitter and give us your feedback if you think we're wrong or we've been unfair to the dominance of Irish runners at the fairs and Willie Mullins, etc. Look, I'm still paying homage to Willie Mullins. Whatever he's doing now, it's fantastic. But
he's got the best kit. That's the point.
He's got the best kit, yeah.
But he's not that much better than Henderson or Nichols. He really isn't. But he's got the best stuff. So there you go. Best raw material.
Coming on to the Irish, so the Irish National. Surprising this. There's not been many British contenders for years, despite £500,000 of the prize money. Why do we think this is, John Chris? Well, it's a valuable race. There'll be many British trainers that have very little chance of, say, winning a Grand National that might think, do you know what? We might have a pop over there. But none has decided to take the invitation.
They'll give up, haven't they? Basically.
But this is interesting because what we've just talked about, why are British trainers not willing to take on the Irish? They wouldn't do it at the Dublin Racing Festival. Barring Punchestown, which you'll get maybe Henderson, Honeyball, maybe Harry Fry, a couple of others having a go. They're not very keen to take on the Irish whatsoever, are they?
No. I suppose you'd have to ask them. But to me, they'll give up. I just don't think they've got any ambition whatsoever.
It seems that. It's like with Henderson, because that's the thing what you said about ambition. The man, when he gets a good one, a real good one, he wants to turn up at 1 to 6. As soon as Willie declares one that's rated within £5 of him, it's like, we have to look about the ground. We're a bit worried about the ground, you know.
Horse comes first,
horse comes, all that. He doesn't want to take them on. It's like a fear factor. Like you say, it's kind of weird. So Irish Nash, don't know. We don't know why the English trainers aren't taking on the Irish for some good money with their staying horses that maybe aren't Grand National prospects. Funny this, BetMGM are certainly winning the Twitterati gambling.
No, somebody said I worked for them today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you've never done a day's work in your life, John.
I know, it's for the first.
Right, anyway, so BetMGM, whether it's true or not, obviously we can only see the screenshots, but apparently one BetMGM customer had an each way bet, 6 places or whatever at Cheltenham. And apparently,
Yeah.
because there was only 16 finishers from the 22 starters, they reduced the place terms.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Bizarre. And
That's-
refused to pay. But this is the thing, the books are taking things to a new place, aren't they?
Yeah.
As Jeff Banks says, there is little difference now between big corp and the black market
No.
in the behaviour. The behaviour is
Yeah.
apparent. If you win some serious money, there's some horror cases online at the moment about not getting paid. One that Harry Stewart Moore has posted today regarding a chap that has deposited £1,500
Mm-hmm.
with a company,
Mm-hmm.
with one of the bigger firms, and he won £40,000 on the roulette table.
Okay.
Obviously, got very lucky.
Yeah. Good on it.
No, they're not good on him because they've confiscated his winnings and sent his money back.
Why?
I don't know, because they took him through all the checks. You got to send this, that, to the. Apparently, something wasn't right.
This is why this country needs an armed revolution. I'm convinced of it now. I'm lurching inexorably to the horseshoe of politics, either extreme left or extreme right. I think people just got to rise up. This is not a call to arms for people to go and smash up their local council offices, but this is just continually pushing and encroaching on people's liberties. Stop it. Even when you win, you can't win. I'm just so sick to death of bureaucracy in life, just constantly telling you what you can and can't do in your spare time with your own money. And the trouble is, kind of people put up with it, don't they? They kind of go, yeah, it's dreadful. I hate it. I really do at the minute.
And talking of bureaucracy, Gambling Commission, a lovely freedom of information request was placed upon them, and they had to respond, obviously.
Yes.
And it turns out, as we tweeted on our timeline today, the Gambling Commission have sort of bollocked Gambling with Lives for using false statistics. But what's interesting in this, that was a private letter. It only got released because of freedom of information.
Yeah.
Right? Gambling with Lives are a company that Gambling Commission fund, and Gambling with Lives get exclusive access to media. So they're always on the BBC, Sky, wherever. They teach school children, pamphlets to school children on gambling. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. They're spewing false statistics out and they get exclusive sittings by ministers. This should be a bombshell.
Yeah.
You are using fake numbers to potentially, especially in the horse racing industry, and the BHA should be listening, this could destroy the horse racing industry because they are using false numbers.
Yeah. Great.
What a life. It's unbelievable. The fact that a lot of people aren't really catching on to this, it's just bizarre. The Racing Post should be all over that screen we've posted on the Bar Stewards and be saying, hang on a minute, this is terrible, because the harm groups are going gaga with this data, and it's false. It's using numbers to just define life that are just not true. Yeah, they're drunk on the statutory levy that's going to come in and obviously pay their staff, their wages, their pensions, their grift, if you like, because it can only get worse. And it's time racing woke up to it. Imagine if we had a BHA with a backbone. Imagine if we had a BHA leader that would stand up and condemn these figures, these reports, and just stick up for the industry. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
They're all just sat there doing nothing. The weird thing is, when Big Corp are silent, when Flutter, Entain, William Hill 888, they're all sat there, they're saying nothing. That's when you've got to worry, because they know what's happening. It's all going to suit them, which brings me on to data, chaps. And of course, the big con for punters at the moment is when everyone's trying to withdraw the money and you're getting lumbered with, we need to see you holding your driving license in front of your front door. We need your bank statement. We need your dad's bank statement. We need your brother's bank statement as well, because we see he's sent you money. And this is the thing. You should never, ever give your data. And we're going to give a real life example now on Bar Stewards before we get to the funnies. This is about protection of yourself, because data cloning and cloning your identity now will be real. If you send them your passport, your bank statements, your pay slips, anything they ask for, right? That's the perfect avenue for a data cloner.
Yeah.
To literally clone your identity, to then take out credit, loans, car payments, and it's all on you. It's all on you. It's crazy to say that you won't be affected. This is why you should never, ever, ever, ever send data in. A recent example, the producer, we got an email this week from Vans, and they only advised us 3 months after it had happened. They'd had a data breach. And lo and behold, this week, her card, which is barely used outside of online world, had got fraudulent transactions. This is where we're at. When they say the data won't be breached, I promise you it can get breached. If they can hack the Pentagon and they can hack the CIA and they can hack other big US organizations, they can hack these small data hubs. And what's worse is that they'll never tell you. Because these small data companies popping up, holding your data, Betfair use someone in Leeds. If they get hacked, they will not tell you, and Betfair will not tell you because they won't tell Betfair. And then you're getting your identity potentially cloned and money spent off your bank cards. Honestly, this is serious, serious stuff.
Yeah.
Just to have a bet, you could never do this. Never, ever, ever supply your data is the Barstew's advice under any circumstances to have a bet. You will regret it. Trust me, long term. In fact, I predict within 10 years, you're going to get these lawyers that can finally be bothered on data protection. Have you submitted your details? And you will get paid out. But that's no good if someone's cloned your life and taken away your ability to have credit because someone's spunked it all on a credit card and you've got to pay because it's in your name. So this is serious stuff. I urge people to follow that advice because obviously it happened to us this week, and this is the thing. When they say they'll keep your data safe, bollocks, utter bollocks. Russian hackers, Chinese hackers, they don't give a shit. The dark web, they don't give a shit.
No.
You're naive if you think otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. Funny part of the show, as always. We like to lighten the mood after serious topics, etc. John Roberts has been on. Not only is she the best presenter in the stable, but ITV Racing opening with Francesca wearing the 1982 England shirt whilst eating spaghetti cooked by
Anything else? Or just the 1982 England shirt?
No, there's more. There's a bowl of spaghetti as well.
Yeah. Whilst eating spaghetti cooked by Ainsley might get a BAFTA.
Oh, Ainsley, no.
What are we saying?
Fucking pervert, by the sounds of it.
I was on side till Ainsley got a mention.
Yeah.
Who is the best celebrity chef then?
Oh, got to be Ramsey. In terms of what technical ability, yeah, Ramsey, different gear. Totally different gear.
A lot of our listeners say Floyd.
Keith Floyd? No.
Yeah.
I like Marco for the simmering threat underneath there.
Yeah, of violence, yeah. I like Marcus Waring as well. He's quite a sort of chilled out kind of bloke. But Keith Floyd, yeah, he's good. He was a sort of a more kind of a gastronome than a chef. Was little drunk that travelled around France getting pissed and eating loads, and good luck to him.
What about Nigella?
Oh, she's horny as fuck though, isn't she?
That's just food porn, isn't it, really?
I didn't even know she was a chef till tonight. Is she a cook or something?
Yeah.
She didn't make me laugh, right? You know, you can tell Nigella's never been on a bus in her life, right? Nothing wrong with that. But they had this really kind of artificial segment in, I think, one of her previous series where she had to take a bus ride to go and see a relative. It must have been like 2 miles across London. And she packed a thermos of soup for the journey on a bus for about 8 stops. You thought she's never been on a bus in her life, honestly. But if she lived with me, she'd be on fucking buses every day, I tell you.
Mary Berry.
Oh, it's like Skeletor in a wig, isn't it?
Bit of old gold, I suppose.
Old gold? Fucking gold in Virginia. Fucking stringy old thing that is, isn't it?
John, I thought of you on one episode she did when we had all the terrible lockdowns and they used to regurgitate Mary Berry like baking shows and stuff. She said something, and honestly, if you'd have been sat with me, you'd have gone, what the fuck? She was like baking this, I don't know, this almond whatever tart or whatever. And doesn't that look lovely? Just when the ladies come home from the tennis club.
The tennis. It's like 1950 sort of Terence Rattigan drawing room drama, isn't it? Sort of, oh no, you look so beautiful in this damn moonlight, Amanda. Yeah.
And like Bert sat there from Walsall at undies and
he's tennis club, yeah.
and pot belly
Yorkshire.
like hanging over.
Scratching his balls, yeah. The tennis club.
Yeah, the ladies come home from the tennis club.
It's quite charming, and then the rage boils up inside you about the class war. But for a minute, it's quite amusing.
That was with the Fanny Craddock approach, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
If you want your donuts to look like Fanny's, remember that. That's a famous,
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
That Johnny, the old Monaco, and I liked him. He was half cut half the time as well.
Oh, yeah, pissed up,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
brilliant, wasn't he? Your donuts look like Fanny's.
Len's been on. He said in a cage fight,
Oh.
the ITV Racing jumps team versus the flat team, who wins? This is a great question.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Right, Len, the weight advantage has got to be with jumps team, surely. But Jason Weaver, who obviously came back today, who, by the way, I think he's bloody excellent. I like Jason Weaver a lot.
Okay.
Wasn't he a boxing champ? As in, like, he would hammer people in the ring.
Wasn't that Alan Monroe? Well, he was fucking well hard, wasn't he?
Monroe was, but Weaver was. He didn't mess with Weaver.
Monroe was the Zen karate man.
Yeah, he
was it. He's well good.
He was on a different plane altogether. Yeah. I think he could levitate, actually.
Yogic flying, yeah.
There'll be some listening that'll know more than me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Weaver was hard. He didn't mess with him.
Okay, brilliant.
But I could be wrong on that. That's what I've read. I'm sure I've read in the...
Mulrennan's a kickboxer as
well. Yes.
I bet Megs can do a bit of hair pulling.
My doe's on Jeff Baxter. Get him out, honestly.
Scratching.
Yeah. I'm just going through the panellists now, though. I mean, so the flat team.
Yeah.
Would Passad be more flat or jumps?
Flat, definitely. Yeah. Flat.
So flat. Chapman does both, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So it depends which team Chapman wants to
if
sit on.
If he's a trier, if he's trying,
You'd have to let him ref or something, wouldn't you?
You'd think Ollie Bella'd run off, wouldn't you?
No, I reckon he could be a right spiteful boss. I reckon he bites. If you got me head, let him bite your fucking ear off. So he looks like
I think he'd scarper.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. I think Ollie Bell's a scarper.
I reckon he'd be a nasty bastard, I reckon. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm trying to get an angle on this. So the jumps team, and McCoy, Fitzgerald, he'd be useless, wouldn't he?
Ah, fucking me.
No, he's ridden with like broken arms and stuff, hasn't he? So he'd be there for the long haul, as would Pete McCoist.
If there's a free lunch there, he'd be in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, McCoist has got to be one of the biggest miserable bastards in the country. Anyway. McCoist, Walsh.
That'd cheer him up, the chance to start that, wouldn't it?
People getting their heads kicked with little sprigs and little smile. Yeah.
So, Len, we can't really answer this. In fact, it'd make great talent. It's like the old Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Tag team and all that.
Racing could do it for charity in July. Big cage fight between the lot of them. You'd subscribe to that, surely. I'd pay.
It's given me an idea for a hell of a pitch to the TV companies, actually. I can pitch this situation where I've got myself, Bonnie Langford, and Richard Stilgo in a flat.
Richard Stilgo? Fuck me.
We've all got lump hammers, and we're knocking fuck out of each other, and the last one standing wins a bird's trifle.
I think it sounds like a dream, John, that you've had after like a kilo of Roquefort cheese or something.
That sounds so Partridge.
That's Vic Reeves, more like, I think. Surreal.
Yeah.
Richard Stilgo. Is he dead? Is he still going or is he dead? I'm going to look him up now. I reckon he's dead. Mind you, my wife said, I think every cunt's dead. He's dead, died years ago, and found out he's not alive.
I don't think he's alive.
Richard Stilgo.
The dream of the show lives on.
Oh, my God.
No, he's still alive. He's 80.
Yeah, you see. Yeah.
Good old Richard Stilgo, composer, musician.
And lump hammer fanatic now.
Yeah.
And cage fighter.
Yeah.
If the bar stewards could be any 1970s, 80s police detectives, who would they be? Can I start off by saying I would be Ironside?
You lazy cunt.
You love him, don't you? You love him.
I wouldn't have to do fuck all. You just sit in a chair and go,
You lazy bastard.
Then you sit about all day. That's why. Lazy fucker. Some poor cunt wheeling you about where you're farting and shitting in that chair.
Exactly. That's a thinking man's like answer, isn't
His
it?
bag changing again. I'm not fucking doing it.
Like you idiots would be like picking some of these police do all these stunts and chuck themselves over cars, whereas I just wheel myself in.
I'm asleep as well. Fuck me.
So, John, who would you be?
I think I'd probably be policewoman Angie Dickinson, and I'd
Fucking
never
hell.
even go out to the precinct. I'd just stay in the flat and touch myself.
And blame yourself, yeah. I was about to say that, yeah. You'd want 3 hands, wouldn't you, if it's Angie Dickinson, yeah. 4, actually, depending on what your preference is.
Oh,
But
exactly, yeah.
Good God, Chris.
well, boy, I'd go for Harry O. Do you remember Harry O? The
Fucking
American
hell,
1974 to 1976, I'm seeing here. David Jansen, who I thought was really cool when I was a kid. I've no idea what it's about. I assume it was a police drama, but Harry O for me.
Great answers, chaps, there. Absolutely love that. Love that round. Thanks, Tony Harding, for the question. Bidders. When we get to Bidders and Samuel the cat, it gets
God.
a bit proper sausage.
But Angie Dickinson said, yeah, go on.
To be fair to Bidders, he says, if you could warn off one person in the game, who would it
God.
be and why? John, I'm coming to you. I want to know your answer.
Right.
I'm busting.
Yeah.
Dave Greenwood, because he's just got back.
Yeah, fucking warn him off again.
I think it'd be fucking hilarious just to warm him up again just for no reason.
Yeah, I like that. That's
So,
good.
no, Dave, you're not coming back. You're out.
Yeah.
You're out again.
Yeah, do him for another 10 years. If you're listening, Dave, we love you, but yeah.
Give him another 10, yeah.
We'd do it out of humour. We'd just do it.
It's
10
so
years.
hilarious, you'd have to do it, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
Indeed.
oh, fucking hell.
Oh, I've got to get him to listen to this shit. I think he's in Tenerife at the moment. God, I'm dying.
Go on, keep going.
Chris.
Do you know what? I can't think of a better answer than Dave Greenwood, actually. So I'm going to go Dave Greenwood as well. You could say the obvious one, Julie Harrington and all that, but Dave Greenwood, I think, is more deserving of a further ban. So, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue any of that. It's made me laugh so much that
Yeah, Jonas wins that round. Yeah, definitely.
And that means I can mention him. You know, when we do the Twitter plug for the show, I can put David Greenwood, and that'll make him listen as well.
Fucking warn him off. So if he'll give him 3, he's warned for 30 years, isn't he?
Yeah, dirty Dave. Dave, you're dirty. You know it.
No,
Final question, which of course gets rather bizarre. Samuel the cat, one of our favourite question writers. It's like a weekly thing, this. It's been decided that the bar stewards will all be sent to the electric chair.
Yay!
Rightly so.
No more bills, fucking no more stress,
Yeah, due to the crime of upsetting sensitive people. Before electrocution, they have been allowed one famous woman for 1 hour's company, a final meal, and then a drink.
And a drink.
So, a drink as well. We'll get the luxury of a drink, a woman for an hour, a final meal. John, your answer, please.
Yeah.
The UN Special Rapporteur in Gaza, Francesca Albanese.
Blimey.
Not only does she deal with pressmen asking stupid questions in an exemplary manner by absolutely trashing them, she's also the type of lady you would bend like a pretzel.
Oh my God. Punishment over the table, yeah.
I can't think of anybody I'd rather spend my last hours with.
Oh.
The meal, John.
The meal, I would probably go for king crab legs, and the drink, I would like either a rum snowball or an old-fashioned.
I had you down for an old-fashioned. I know you like that. Chris.
Well, I think Amelia Earhart, so she can fucking fly me out of there. That's the woman I want. Although she crashed or disappeared, didn't she? But I think on a going day, I'd have Amelia Earhart. So that would be my choice. Or if I had to choose one from real life, as in modern life, January Jones, who played Don Draper's wife in Mad Men. I think she's stunning. And I'll tell her all my troubles for an hour. She didn't want to go in the fucking chair after an hour with me. She said, look, strap me in, get away from this boring cunt. But
yeah,
right. I'd have me. I don't know, really. I suppose I think a nice steak would be good. And a drink, cup of tea, can't beat it. 3 sugars. Maybe a Battenberg as well.
Oh yeah, Battenberg. Yeah. I know what you're saying with the Battenberg. Okay, mine would be Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Pervert. Yeah. She'd do the lot, you know that as well, don't you? Everything, whatever you want. Fucking coffee tables, the lot. Fucking revolt.
I would want to find out about, before I popped it, I'd want to find out the big dupe.
Yeah.
Who's really been the badass of all
Yeah.
this? And did your dad really chuck himself off a ferry?
Ferry. He wasn't going to Boulogne to buy 200 Bensons.
Fucking ferry.
Townsend Torson, 3 quid in the sun. Yeah.
That tipped up, didn't it?
Fucking, I thought I was in charge of the doors that day, yeah. My luck.
Yeah, you were watching a race, weren't you? And it's like, fucking come on, you man.
2 foot of water. Hang on, I haven't jumped the last yet. Oh, shit.
Oh, good God. Ghislaine for the truth bombs.
Yeah.
Because she told me I'm dying. And it'd be like the finest Japanese Wagyu. I've never had it. And everyone says it's like amazing.
It is.
Mashed taters.
Yep.
I sound like John Coffey.
John Coffey, yeah.
And some fine cornbread, your missus used.
Fucking hell.
And the drink would be Tizer because you can't get it.
No, you can't. Well, it's difficult to do that. Yeah, Tiger's all right.
Yeah.
It would prolong your life, wouldn't it, while they were trying to get some tiger?
Yeah. He said they stopped making it in 1987. We'll fucking put it back into production. I'm not going yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying. That's the end of the show, chaps. We're done. Amazing chat, amazing questions. And of course, we've covered the topics that are important to you guys. So give us feedback on the show, what you like, what you dislike.
All of it.
There'll be plenty of that.
Yeah, Dave Greenwood, are you listening?
That's all from us. Bye for now.